Sanbonani guys, welcome back to yet another video. Guys, so Sponono went on the podcast called Engineer for Your Life. And listen, I'm done watching the podcast and there's a few things that I've got to say or a few things that I'd like us to speak about. But I must say, for some reason, towards the end of the podcast, man, guys, my heart was kind of painful for Sponono. When I started watching this interview, I was asking myself, but this lady, why is she not from her voice? She's not sounding like a person who is going through it. From the way she looks, she doesn't sound like a person that's going through it. But as you listen throughout the interview, you realize, she has kind of came to terms with the fact that Utemba has made a decision and his decision is with Unelisa. But I must also say she is extremely strong because she's saying she left the house in May. When you count inyanga, guys, I still think that this thing is fresh. So I would have been bawling my eyes. My voice, one thing about my voice, guys, it will betray me. My voice will start cracking there. So high shame, she is strong. I also think we should also commend her or applaud her, guys, for the fact that she didn't name bash Unelisa at all in that interview. She said Unelisa is as much as a victim as she is. And I also feel like even when it came to her father of her kids, I don't think there was anything she said that bashed him in that type of way. Now, last night, that's when I saw there's going to be an episode like this on Engineer for Your Life. Now, other people are like, no, Sponono, she's on a breakup tour. Others were like, Sponono must remember that that's the father of her kids. The father of her kids feeds her kids. Like almost as if they were saying, why is Sponono going out there to talk? What's the point? She mustn't do things because she's hurt, because it's going to backfire on her kids and whatnot. You know, honestly, I feel like, guys, if you're in a situation like Sponono or a similar situation, the best thing you can do is say yes to a podcast that is like Engineer for Your Life. Because I feel like the way Lungelo conducts his interview, guys, he does it with so much dignity, with so much respect. He listens to his viewers. He doesn't try and put words in their mouth and just because he wants scoop and whatnot, he lets the person speaks and tries to elaborate on points that he feels like we need to know as the audience. So I kind of feel like even her agreeing to this type of podcast was the best decision, honestly. I also don't know why Lungelo on the title of the video he puts my fiance something, and then when you listen to the interview, he does almost like he's asking Sponono questions about the lobola ceremony, whether certain things were done for to qualify as a customary marriage. So clearly, according to the interview, Sponono says everything was done the way they were supposed to be done. So she was a wife. So I'm not so sure why Lungelo on the title he puts my fiance married someone else at first sight. Maybe he didn't want to sound controversial or whatnot. But I must also say, guys, the Sponono that Utemba described to us on the show and the Sponono we get to see two separate different people. Two different people. And now it makes me think that maybe even the story that was sold to Unelisa was lies and it was false. Because Utemba made it seem ingathi Sponono is a crazy ex, akafuni ngabantwana. Sponono even says, I have never said no to Utemba wanting to see his children. She even says she's willing to do anything for her children just to make sure that her children are in a healthy environment. But Utemba makes it seem, or rather Utemba and Unelisa, one of their concerns was Utemba having access to the kids. Where are they getting that from? Because Sponono says that is not the case. Another thing that really got me, raising my eyebrows was the fact that Sponono said when things changed, or the point where things changed in their marriage was after Themba started taking his side hustle seriously, which is DJing, and started buying equipment. She said this man worked at 9 to 5, so it's then uyavuka. He's going to work to his main source of income. When he comes back, he then goes and do these gigging zakhe as a DJ. Thirdly, he also has a shuttle business, and if I'm not mistaken, he does long distances or something like that. So he's driving for these really long hours. He's hardly home. Unelisa then said in a video that I posted that one thing about her man is not a strat mate. So Sponono is complaining that this man was hardly home. He didn't have time for them. But Unelisa's like, no, this man is not a strat mate. Even when he goes and he's not a type of person or tandu puma. Even when he goes and DJ, he always wants Unelisa to be with him wherever he goes. So it's giving Sponono and Unelisa were or are in love with two different people. Because Sponono says herself she doesn't recognize this Themba that she is seeing. She also said she's only hearing about infidelity stories now when the show was airing, but she trusted this man, guys. Nothing in her made her think that this man might cheat on me, leave me, or whatever the case may be. Apparently, some people on social media are even saying about Themba when he goes out and DJ, there's a lady that he's usually going out with. So I don't know, guys. It's either number one, Themba is pretending to be a man that he is not to Unelisa, or number two, he really found himself, in inverted commas, found himself, and he's a different man than the man he was with when he was with Sponono. Now it also seems that Sponono was so locked into this marriage, like she knew this is my person, I trust him, like listen, so fast wami, because even when she noticed the changes in the marriage, but this person doesn't touch me the same way, she just kept quiet about it. She never asked any questions, and maybe that's the person she is. She doesn't seem like a person that expresses or shows much emotion. Honestly, at this point, it's even pointless to say, but if Sponono showed some sort of emotion, could it be that Themba also thought that Sponono is no longer in this marriage because she's not, like, all of that is unnecessary at this point. But the family also, along with Themba, blindsided Sponono because they knew certain things. And apparently, even in the WhatsApp messages, the family was told what to say when the cameras arrived by Themba. And they felt like they owed their loyalty to Themba than just being honest with Sponono. That's why some people always say, guys, or some people say, when you get married, your in-laws or your in-laws, don't ever forget that when you're still married to the person, kumnandi and whatnot, but come a point where they have to choose. Most, not all, in-laws will stand with their son or with their daughter. Imagine advising Sponono to write into the show, Chigi, when the cameras are there, they say, no, we know that Themba is single and whatnot, like, hi man, guys. But also the way Themba cheated his baby mama, now when he knew that he wanted Unelisa or wanted to keep Unelisa around, like he called the police on the baby mama to kick the mama out of the house because now he's in love with Unelisa and he knows there's going to come a time where Unelisa needs to visit her. I'm just like, this man is behaving like a real married man who has a side chick, but Unelisa was not the side chick, of course, who has a side chick, and the side chick is driving him crazy because there was absolutely no reason for him to treat his baby mama ngaleyo ndlela. But the baby mama was like irritating him just because now Unelisa was in sight and he wanted to make sure that nothing is going to ruin his chances of being with Unelisa or of Unelisa saying or recommitting to him. Overall, guys, I really think this situation should kind of, especially people who are in serious committed relationships or are married, this should be a lesson to all of us that when you're in a relationship that really matters to you guys and you notice things are off, don't be afraid to sit down and have the uncomfortable conversations and ask the uncomfortable questions. Because some things, guys, I feel like even having the conversation or the thoughts about not being with this person, it's painful. So you'd rather ignore it because you're like, you know what, this person was with me for years, or we've been with one another for years, we've been through the most. You'd rather have those conversations. Yes, granted, there are men who will just lie. Like Utemba, I don't think he would have said to Sponono that, listen, I'm funi. But sometimes even just saying, you know what, I've noticed, man, you're moving in different ways. If you're telling the person, but I don't like A, B, and C, I don't like the way you're moving, and they're not changing their ways, guys, start preparing yourself mentally and in your heart that this person can drop me like a hot potato any day. But anyway, I am glad that Sponono has accepted things for what they are. I really wish her a journey of healing, guys. And I really do hope that they get to a point where they can co-parent in a healthy way. Unelisa Benotemba must just forget that conversation that they were saying, but they want to take the kids, Bahlale Notemba. Like, they must just forget about that for now and just focus on parenting or co-parenting in a healthy manner. I also wish love and light to Unelisa, guys. She now knows the situation. I really hope that because she wants to, or she's choosing to be with this man, that she has the heart to be able to go through this whole situation, because I don't think it's going to be an easy one. Those kids might even grow up to resent Unelisa and feel like she's the reason why their parents are not together. Guys, anyway, you tell me your thoughts on this. Please do make sure you like the video. Please do subscribe. It is absolutely for free of charge, and I'll see you guys on the next one.